Oh my gosh. Here we are, everyone. Good morning. It is the kind of day when everyone is just trying to stay dry. We've got umbrellas out. We've got semi-abandoned carts. We've got waiting. That's sort of a little place there of waiting. We've got blankets. We have got Veterans Day. And thank you everyone for all your comments, all your questions, everything. You know, I really think about them a lot. Sometimes I just kind of almost go in circles. Someone had asked about, for instance, why bother using MK Ultra on college students when you've got the military for, you know, assassin creation. And I get the feeling that MK Ultra covers more than just the creation of the assassins or what they're using in the military. It's developed in the military, but I was reading just a lot on the internet last night, and I'm sorry I lost them. I used to have some papers that were, you know, declassified, heavily marked, but that showed a lot of institutions where MK Ultra was taking place. One was like New Jersey had a lot of boys' homes for some reason, orphanages, juvenile detention centers. It wasn't only colleges or universities. It was really wherever they could get their little grubby hands on people. And a lot of it was to create a population more malleable, help, I can't talk. And that, and it's interesting because, you know, mushrooms are interesting, psychedelics, but they were really going into how to create psychosis through psychedelics. And if evergreen is anything, and when that, and yes, you are so right, my dear, who said, you know, John is no Jolly West. And yeah, John was kind of a milquetoast guy with, you know, unimaginative ideas or whatever, who was kind of the front man for the evergreen cell, right? Jolly West was, yeah, he was the deep agent, but they were both faculty at University of California universities, you know, John at Berkeley and our other, who was it, Jolly West over at UCLA. So just kind of interesting. And evergreen, if evergreen was anything, it was definitely the College of Psychedelics. And, you know, if you went to, you know, you had to go to seminars, and at the end of the year there were always potlucks that were held at either the teacher's house or a student who had like a hot tub, some kind of cool place, and they would always just be pushing the psychedelics, the mushrooms. It's funny how we hear about, you know, drugs in the inner cities or, you know, drugs in different places, but really the university, the college, and evergreen especially was like so like, oh my God. They practically just forced psychedelics down people's throats. So I'm not saying yes or no to psychedelics or whatever, but I think that, you know, that psychedelics in in an institutional situation setting where people are in unfamiliar turf, that it can do damage. Where, we're not sort of talking about the Native American thing here. We're talking about kind of dosing college students who are in an unfamiliar place and playing with their minds. I wonder about the people here. I've very much heard that people that have been subjected to a lot of MK Ultra just can't function anymore. It's funny if you look at this as a whole society, where people all, did you have this going on at, say, different times in history? There's the poor shall be with us always, but the MK Ultra, shall they be with us always? I think it feels different, it feels bigger, and one thing I just noticed so much, and I'm bummed, I think I kind of lost the guy's channel. There was a guy who just had all this footage from LA, in the mid-60s, where, there was none of this, everyone had something, even if it was just an SRO, right? There was at least something. And, a lot of those, I guess, have been torn down. The single room occupancy places where at least you had a place, to hang your head. It's just, very exposed, and we very much do wonder about what have some of these people been put through? Were they in the military? I interviewed the last person I actually did an interview with had gone to Evergreen. That was interesting. So it was a kind of weakening of society that we were, that was maybe the task, a weakening of the mind of these students at Evergreen, a kind of breaking down. And so we will look into that further. Much, much love.